Pat McCarthy is the head of the Environmental Health Committee, which oversaw the situation and oversees the city's dog warden service. Victoria Stilwell's television dog training expert, who's lent her support to the campaign to save the dog. They're both on the line. Victoria Stilwell, your views today?
Devastated, absolutely devastated. I was devastated at the court's ruling, and I hope that BCC Belfast City Council would help and would realise that actually that there were alternatives. I provided them an alternative sanctuary forever for Lennox in the United States of America, in a sanctuary where he would be safe, but they did not listen. They did not listen. And asking BCC to be able to allow the family to see their dog before he was put down, they ignored that. They won't even allow the family to see the dog's body. I think they have behaved in an absolutely despicable way. It's disgraceful. And not just myself, but millions of people around the world are absolutely appalled by what Belfast City Council have done to this dog and to this family.
Pat McCarthy, I mean, this is a story that has gone around the world. There's been huge coverage of it, huge interest in it. I've got hundreds of tweets about it today. Could there not have been a situation where an alternative might have been found?
Well, as a dog owner myself, Wendy, none of us are happy to see a dog destroyed. I know what it's like. I've had dogs put down myself over the years. We looked at everything. It went to the court. It's been going on for 2 years now. The council expert described this dog as one of the most unpredictable and dangerous dogs he had ever come across. It went to the county court and the Court of Appeal, and both of them were of the view that it would be best if the dog was destroyed.
Victoria clearly doesn't agree with you from the noises she's making.
This is ridiculous. The Belfast City Council, you all fought so hard for the ruling. The courts made that ruling. Now, you let me speak. You've had your say. You fought so hard for the ruling, and then you claim that your hands are tied by it. Look, I'm all for dangerous dogs.
Look, there's no point in you both talking at the same time, because we actually then can't hear either of you. Victoria's made her point there. She says that the council fought for this ruling and then said that it had to be abided by. Is that not the case, Pat McCarthy?
Sorry, Wendy, I didn't catch that.
Victoria says that the council fought hard to get this ruling and then said that it had to abide by the ruling and its hands were tied. Is that not the case?
The council only implemented the law, and the law says that pit bull type dogs are dangerous and people shouldn't have them.
See, the vets have put a statement out at the back of all of this saying that they feel that dogs should be assessed on their deeds rather than their breed. They say that this is at the root of the problem, and in this case they say that, well, they're not saying that this shouldn't have applied to Lennox, but that was the case that was being made by the dog's owners and by other campaigners.
Well, Wendy, I can only repeat to you what we were told. The people that have been looking after Lennox for this past 2 years tell us 1 minute the dog is placid and friendly, and the next minute he would come through the fence to get at you. Now, do we release that dog into society? We've a duty of care to people.
Well, let's put that to Victoria. I mean, if that's the case, how can a council release a dog like that into society?
I did not ask them to release a dog like that into society. That's their perception of his behaviour. I was going to take the dog to a sanctuary in America where he would not be exposed to the public. If that was indeed the case, there were 2 behavioural experts qualified, and I might say the BCC's expert was not a qualified behaviourist. Okay, he wasn't. The defence, we had 2 qualified behaviourists, David Ryan and Sarah Fisher, who assessed Lennox to say that he was not dangerous. Yet the court goes by the ruling of a person who is a former police dog handler and not a certified behaviourist.
Right, well, let's go back to Pat McCarthy for a moment, Councillor Pat McCarthy. One of the tweets I got in said that this shows the difference between the right choice and the legal choice, and that there is such a thing as bad law. Would you, after this whole experience, which has been very difficult for many people, and there are a lot of people have had a very bad time through it, would you agree now that this legislation needs to be looked at and to be reviewed?
I certainly would, Wendy. As I said before, we are tasked with implementing the legislation. We didn't make it. Stormont and Westminster make legislation. Belfast City Council were tasked with implementing it. And we're in a no-win situation here, Wendy. I could have ducked this interview and kept my head down, but I think I had to go on and try and explain the situation and the dilemma that we were in.
Pat McCarthy, Victoria Stilwell, thanks both of you.